Would you like to have better discussions with your adult children about topics that you all don't agree on? Hi, I'm Dr. Jennifer Degler, and this is a video just giving you a new way to think about those discussions that you may be having with your adult children on things like social justice, critical race theory, poverty, abortion, gay marriage, systemic racism, politicians, how to vote, all those things that young people and parents can disagree on. And I've been hearing from some parents saying, I'm trying to talk to my kids and I'm getting very animated and the discussions are getting heated and it's not helping our relationship. But I'm so afraid of how my kid's going to vote or how my child looks at things even though they're an adult. So let me give you some tips and a new way perhaps of thinking about this. So when you're going to have a discussion with your adult child about a topic you all disagree on, it's always helpful to ask yourself prior to the discussion, what's my goal here? What do I want to see happen? What do I want to accomplish with this conversation? And for many parents, when I talk to them, they say, well, my goal is I want to get my kid to check their facts rather than just accept maybe what they're reading on social media or reading in a blog post. I don't think my kid really understands what they're saying. I want them to get a biblical perspective. And ultimately, my goal is to get my adult child, to see the light and realize that their opinion is flawed or their opinion is incomplete or not biblical or just wrong. And I would suggest to you that that is the wrong goal to have for a conversation with your adult child, because that goal depends on you getting your kid to do something. And whenever we're depending on kind of changing another person in order for a conversation to be successful, then we're setting ourselves up for failure, because it's really hard to change other people. And so instead, it's helpful if you change your goal to, I want to inform my child about maybe what I think, but perhaps an even better goal would be, I want to understand more fully what my child is thinking, because that is a goal you can accomplish. You can inform, and then you can also understand better. But if your goal is, I'm going to change somebody's thinking, then you're setting yourself up for a really heated, unpleasant, and possibly relationship damaging conversation. So it's important to think about, how is my child experiencing me in this conversation? If my goal is to get them to see the light, then they're not going to experience you as a safe space to talk to. Instead, they're going to feel that pressure. They're going to feel that sense of, if I don't agree with dad, if I don't agree with mom, then this is going to be unpleasant. And a lot of times that will shut them down. It's important that as our children become later in their teens and then moving into young adulthood, that we really make that shift from being that in-control parent to a consultant parent, where your child consults with you, but you're no longer in control. You haven't really been in control of your child for many, many years by the time they get to be an older teen. But that can be hard and scary as a parent, because we don't want our kids to make mistakes. We want our kids to believe things that we think are true and right, and if you're a Christian, things that you believe are biblical. However, your child is their own person and they have their own mind. And your job is not to control what they think. Your job is not even to correct their thinking at this point. Oftentimes as parents, we begin to believe the lie that, okay, if I don't correct their thinking, no one else will. But that really that means we have a very small picture of God, that we're really doing fear-based parenting, where we believe, okay, God can't use anybody else. it's all up to me to correct my child's thinking, to make sure they vote the right way, or that they believe the right things, or they understand what the Bible has to say about this. But oftentimes they can't hear that from us because we are their parent. And this is where it's a walk of faith, and we say, okay, Lord, here's this thing I see in my child that I don't think is in line with what you would say is truth. So I'm going to trust you, Lord, that you can take care of this. God loves your child more than you do. And he can use all kinds of things, all kinds of situations, all kinds of experiences, all kinds of people to reach your child. And if God thinks something needs to be corrected in your child's thinking, then God can take care of that. But when you begin to believe, I have to take care of that, then you're going to get real rigid. You're going to get real uptight. And in conversations with your child, you are going to push too hard. And in pushing hard, you're going to end up pushing your child away. And so your child will not see you as a valuable consultant. They will just experience you as a controlling person. Now, probably right now, your adult child does have some things that they consult with you on, and you like it. Maybe they understand, hey, Dad has so much expertise about how to fix things around the house. And so if something breaks in their home or their apartment, they call you and they consult with you and they trust you, and you like that. Or maybe you know a lot about finances and money, so they give you a call, like, how should I invest my 401k? And you're able to tell them. And they're like, yeah, Mom knows a lot about, how to invest money. Or maybe it's about cooking, and your adult child consults you when a recipe goes wrong, and you like that. But you see, probably what you're doing there is you're presenting, okay, here's my experience, here's what I would suggest you do, and then you let them go do whatever it is they're going to do, and they like that, and they experience you as a consultant, and they'll come back for more. If you, however, get out of that consultant role and just try and control them, then what will happen is not only will they stop consulting with you about things like, what does the Bible say about this? Or who to vote for, or what they feel about racism or abortion or gay marriage or whatever the topic may be. Not only will they stop consulting with you and having discussions with you about that and accepting your influence in those areas, but they will also begin to pull back in the areas where it was safe to consult you, like how to fix things or recipes or what's the best stock to invest in. You want to protect that relationship with your child and trust that God can take care of correcting any errors in their thinking that God thinks are there. So the goal for these conversations is not to get your child to see the light. The goal is just for you to understand your child better. And so you can use phrases like, well, that's interesting that you believe that about this topic. Help me understand how you came to believe that. And then there's this magic phrase, tell me more. Tell me more. And so your child is having that opportunity to talk and to share with you, and you're listening, not with the purpose of looking for the flaws in their argument, but for truly just to understand. And a lot of times at the end of that, it's helpful to just say, thank you for sharing that with me. It helps me to understand better how you're thinking. I don't think we always agree on how we see that perspective, but I really appreciate you letting me know how you came to your opinions and about those. And then your child will feel safer with you and is more likely to continue having more discussions and to accept your influence and to experience you as a consultant. So remember, our goal for the conversation is not to change their minds. It's to just know their mind better. I hope that helps.